It's 12 o'clock, and you're watching KCCI Channel 8 Des Moines, Iowa's news leader. With Molly Cooney, Jason Hoffman, and meteorologist Mike Lozano. This is News Channel 8.
The Clark County Sheriff's Office is looking into what they are calling a questionable death after a human skeleton is found. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Molly Cooney.
And I'm Jason Hoffman. And more this afternoon on a story we first brought you last night in our news at 10. Clark County authorities found human remains on a farm last night.
Crime Beat reporter Brian Polson is in Clark County today, and he joins us live via the telephone with the latest. Brian, what have you found out so far today?
I'll tell you what, this really is a bizarre story, something you don't hear about very often, but the Clark County Sheriff's Department says a concerned citizen led them to some human remains west of Osceola in the tiny community of Murray. We're near the Union County border, or at least a couple of miles away there, so in the western part of Clark County. That is where they found most of a full human skeleton, several feet underground in an abandoned cistern, or an old-time underground water storage space. We have video from last night when it was raining. You see a white tent that investigators put up to protect that cistern from rain as they got some of those bones out from underground. Sheriff Mark Addison says the farmhouse here where this underground water storage tank is has been here and has been abandoned probably since at least the mid-1980s. And it appears the human remains they found here have been here for a number of years as well. Polk County Medical Examiner Dr. Francis Garrity is scheduled to look at those remains sometime today. They've already been removed from the scene, although the Division of Criminal Investigation is still here, along with Sheriff Mark Addison and others, digging through some of the mud and other stuff underground to look for other clues as to what might have led to this death. Again, they're calling it a questionable death, but we don't know much right now, because until tests are run, we don't know how long the body's been here, what age it is, what sex it is, or any other general characteristics. Sheriff Addison says, and they won't even say who found or how they found the body, but neighbors say that this whole thing has them kind of freaked out.
All right, Brian Polson, thanks a lot for that report, and if you do come up with anything, please give us a holler back. Well, it was 1 week ago that 15 people died after a shooting rampage at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. Today, as 3 more victims are laid to rest, police say they are more certain than ever that someone helped Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold carry out the shootings. Manuel Gallegos has the latest from Littleton.
A week after the deadliest school shooting in U.S. history, investigators have made no arrests and still face many key questions. Among them, did Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold have help carrying explosives into Columbine High School? And did anyone purchase weapons for the shooters?
We're under the impression that someone assisted them in that. Who and when are still kind of unclear to us right now.
Police believe the girlfriend of Dylan Klebold purchased at least 2 of the guns used in the attack. But if those weapons turn out to be a rifle or shotgun, the girl did not break any laws. She was questioned Monday and is described as a witness. Investigators are also looking very closely at a sensational diary written by Eric Harris, hoping it will lead them to conspirators.
Take my hand and walk.
Meanwhile, 2 more funerals and a memorial service are planned for today in Littleton. Yesterday's services were held for 3 students and popular teacher Dave Sanders.
And in another development, a local gun shop owner says that Eric Harris and 4 other youths in trench coats tried to buy expensive, fully automatic weapons at his store 5 weeks ago. The group was turned away. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, Littleton, Colorado.
The gunman at Columbine High School reportedly listened to the music of shock rocker Marilyn Manson. Manson will be performing in Cedar Rapids tomorrow. Now, several people have called to say they will be protesting. As a result, the staff at the Five Seasons Center will be adding extra security. A Manson concert scheduled for this Friday at the Red Rocks Amphitheater west of Denver, just miles from the shooting scene, has been canceled. Manson's music features macabre lyrics and imagery about death, mutilation, and suicide. The Iowa Civil Liberties Union is warning school officials about free speech issues in the wake of the Colorado shooting spree. So far, the ICLU has not received any complaints, but they say that tough measures on what students wear or say could backfire and violate a student's freedom of expression.
The man who murdered the mayor of Mount Pleasant and wounded 2 city council members there has died. Ralph Davis, seen here in a court hearing shortly after the shootings, died last night in his cell at the Fort Madison prison. He was 81 years old. In 1986, Davis shot and killed Mayor Ed King during a council meeting there. Davis reportedly was upset over damage in his basement caused by a backed-up sewer. Tom Vilsack then took over as mayor.
Tonight, Des Moines parents will have another chance to speak their mind about the proposed school closings here. Superintendent Eric Witherspoon proposes closing Brooks, Lucas, and Rice elementary schools. He's also asking that alternative programs at Kosovo and Cassidy Alternative High Schools be moved to Central Campus. Last night, over 100 angry parents and students attended an open meeting to discuss and comment on the proposal. There are 2 more meetings scheduled for this week. One of those is tonight, and parents are invited to attend that one at the Central Campus Auditorium. That starts at 7 o'clock. And then another one on Thursday. That meeting will be held at Hoover High School's auditorium. That meeting also scheduled for 7 o'clock.
Governor Vilsack got out his veto pen yesterday. He struck down a measure that would eliminate the state sales tax on investment counseling services. The governor says the proposal was a tax break for special interest that would cost the state $750,000 next year in lost sales tax revenue.
State lawmakers are doing their part to halt the expansion of legalized gambling in the state. The House voted to enact a series of restrictions on the state's casinos and racetracks. It includes a 5-year ban on the issuance of new gambling licenses. The House also voted to use idle state money to provide low-interest loans to farmers, this to help out livestock farmers who struggled with historically low prices. And the governor says he's willing to consider a state loan to keep Access Air flying, but he wants conditions. Access Air wants to expand its fleet.
Voters in Ames heading to the polls today for a special election to determine the fate of Hilton Coliseum. The proposal on the ballot calls for raising Ames hotel-motel tax from 5 to 7%. Now, if it passes, the money raised would put in 1,500 additional seats to bring Hilton's capacity up to 16,000 for concerts and games. News Channel 8, of course, will have election results for you tonight on the news at 10.
I was on pace to break an unfortunate record. So far, 170 meth labs or dump sites have been discovered. Last year at this time, 55 had been found. At this rate, the number could top 500 by the end of the year. Also this year, more meth has been discovered in northern Iowa, but Polk County still leads the way with 50 sites discovered so far.
Police in Ames and the FBI need your help to catch the city's latest bank robbery suspect. Police say a lone gunman went to the Bresson Bank off of 24th and Grand with a handgun. Police say he took an undetermined amount of cash and left on foot through the North Grand Mall parking lot. Here is a picture of the suspect. It was taken by the bank security camera. He is described as 6 foot, 200-pound white man. He's wearing a dark blue coat with white stripes on the arms. He had a navy blue and white bandana on his head and was wearing sunglasses. If you have any information, you are asked to call at the FBI in West Des Moines or contact the Ames Police Department.
Well, time right now to contact Mike Lozano with looks like some good weather on the way for us, sir.
Yes, there is, believe it or not. You know, the skies are cloudy. It's kind of drippy all over the place, but the sun will come out. The weekend looks absolutely fantastic. Here's a look right now at what we're picking up. Look at this outer space, counterclockwise circulation, low pressure sitting in here, and it's also keeping some shower activity in the picture. Here's live Super Doppler radar right now to show you exactly what's going on. Got an area of showers back over here toward the northeast, runs out through about the Cedar Rapids area, down through about Davenport, and then comes back over to Decorah. This stuff all pulling out to the northeast at a fairly good clip. Before you know it, the sun will be back and everybody will be happy.
We like that.
We're ready for that.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Well, still to come today on News Channel 8 Live at noon. More attacks on Yugoslavia overnight, but now there are also new efforts to bring the war to an end. We'll have the latest on the crisis over Kosovo.
And a train that was involved in a deadly accident in Illinois is involved in another crash. Those stories and more just ahead for you.
Closed captioning of News Channel 8 is brought to you as a public service by KCCI and the cardiologists, surgeons, and staff at the Iowa Heart Center.
More NATO bombs shook Yugoslavia overnight, but these attacks come amid reports of new efforts to bring the war to an end. And it appears that the United States and Russia may be working together to reach a solution with the Yugoslavian government.
Meanwhile, the International Red Cross meets with 3 American soldiers captured near the Yugoslavian-Macedonian border. Lisa Hughes has the latest on the crisis over Kosovo.
It has become an unmistakable sound in Belgrade, and only after sunrise does the damage become clear. Again this morning, NATO bombs hit Slobodan Milosevic's party headquarters. At the nearby Museum of Modern Art, cleanup is the price of admission.
The message is now getting through, even in Belgrade, that Yugoslavia is alone in defying the world.
NATO is also sending a message to Russia that it could play a major role in ending the crisis. Deputy Secretary of State Strobe Talbot says the U.S. and Russia are working together.
The problem is extremely difficult. This important and urgent work continues, and it will continue in the days to come.
NATO continues its buildup in Albania. Rocket launchers, troops, and Apache helicopters. One Apache crashed last night on a training mission. The crew got out all right.
It's a risky business, and that's what we've got to accept. Everybody's trained to do that, and everybody knows that.
One White House expectation was met today in Belgrade. The International Red Cross revisited 3 American soldiers. This time it was a private visit, and the 3 were examined by a doctor. They're reportedly in good shape. The same cannot be said, though, for many of the refugees who cross the border by the thousands any way they can.
It now appears the U.S. force in NATO's operation is about to grow. After weeks of speculation, the Pentagon has turned in its request for 33,000 reservists, and the president could approve it by the end of the day. Lisa Hughes, CBS News, Washington.
And we have breaking news to pass on to you in regards to that. Mr. Clinton has now authorized the Pentagon to order as many as 33,000 reservists to active duty for Kosovo. That is according to a defense official today. Well, Governor Vilsack has announced that legal residents of the United States who have relatives in Kosovo can start applying as immigration sponsors. The governor says the U.S. government will process only those Kosovar refugees in Albania and Macedonia in initial phases. Kosovars in other countries may be considered later. If you have any questions, you can contact the Bureau of Refugee Services. Here in Central Iowa, you can call 515-283-7999 or try the toll-free number. That's 1-800-362-2780. Investigators today are looking into yet another train accident involving Amtrak's City of New Orleans.
Our look at world headlines begins today in Jackson, Mississippi. This time the train slammed into a tractor-trailer rig just outside an industrial park. The rig apparently did not clear the crossing in time as the train approached. The truck was carrying non-hazardous chemicals, and only one minor injury was reported. The engineer of the train suffered a bump on the head. Just last month, the same train was involved in an accident that killed 11 people.
No arrest so far in the murder of a popular television anchor in London. 37-year-old Jill Dando was shot just outside of her London home in broad daylight yesterday. She died of a single gunshot wound to the head. She worked for the BBC as an anchor and also hosted a popular crime-solving program. A motive in her death has not yet been determined.
Residents in Russellville, Arkansas say a tornado hit their town yesterday, injuring at least 2 people. Between 25 to 30 homes were damaged, some severely by the storm and strong winds. A number of vehicles also sustaining damage.
Stormy weather everywhere. What about us, Mike?
No.
No, okay.
No, great weather.
Great.
Fantastic weather. It's hard to tell by looking out the window right now. We're going to have a great weather forecast coming up right after this.
Meteorologist Mike Lozano has earned the American Meteorological Society's seal of approval for excellence in television weathercasting. This News Channel 8 weather forecast is sponsored by Wound Care Center of Iowa.
One of those gloomy days out there, but hey, it isn't all that bad. Sunshine is on the way. Foggy skies right now. Here's a look at what's going on out there right as we speak. 57 degrees, cloudy skies, fog very evident. Winds out of the east, 8 miles per hour. The dew point, 54 degrees. Relative humidity, 93%. The barometer's rising to 9.72. Rising barometer, always good news. Here's a look at precipitation from Mason City, running over to Allison, back over towards, just to the east of Waterloo, going on over about Cedar Rapids area. Most of this stuff, very, very light precipitation. Here's what's setting the whole thing off. Look at this, 22,500 miles up in space. You don't need your imagination to see the counterclockwise circulation of a massive low-pressure system now moving out toward the northeast in its wake. Here's some of the temperatures. 48 degrees, Mason City, rainy skies. 49 degrees, Sioux City. 54 degrees at Audubon. 62 degrees, almost summertime. Over in Ottumwa, 50 degrees in Dubuque, 54 degrees in Cedar Rapids, 59 at Lamoni. Going in for a closer look, 54 at Boone and Ames, and up at Webster City, 63 at Sheridan, also at Knoxville, 52 at Marshalltown, 48 degrees over in Storm Lake. The map looks like this. Here's that low-pressure system dragging down from that as the cold front rapidly becomes stationary as it gets down around the Texas Panhandle. May form the focal point of some thunderstorm activity later on today, but the bulk of the stuff out here towards the east. Here's a look at the temperatures. Look at this. 59 degrees right now. International Falls, that'll be a pleasant temperature for us right now. 53 in Kansas City, rainy skies. 77 San Antonio, Texas. 86 degrees over in Miami. 43 Caribou, Maine. Just a couple of degrees cooler in Seattle at 41. 60 degrees in San Diego. What do we expect to happen? This low is going to move off to the east. In its place, be replaced by nice, beautiful sunshine. Today's storminess out here towards the Ohio River Valley. And out along northern Carolinas, severe thunderstorm activity is possible. Of course, these folks get a lot of tornadoes. Back over here towards the northwest, scattered shower and thunder shower activity is quite possible. Here's a look at the regional Doppler. Look at this. You can actually see the influence of that low pressure system, counterclockwise circulation, winds coming out of the southeast on this side, back out of the north on the backside. Here's a look at the satellite, show you what's going on. You can see that low pressure system getting very, very wrapped up in itself, moving out toward the northeast. In its place, beautiful sunshine will move in. It'll last for about 2.5 days, and I've already given away the forecast, but here it is anyway. I need the word. Today's forecast, scattered showers, patchy drizzle from time to time, winds out of the northeast 5 to 15 with a high of 58 degrees. Then tonight, mostly cloudy, patchy drizzle still in evidence, winds out of the east 5 to 15 with a low of 46 degrees. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds, winds out of the east 5 to 10 with a high of 61 degrees. The extended forecast looks like this. Look at that. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, count them up, 4 days. Look at those temperatures, 75 degrees on Saturday. That is easy to take in anybody's book, especially mine. I'm tired of these clouds and drizzle and gloom.
Right, yeah. And I'm tired of you talking about it, too.
Yeah. So that means you don't want his job, right?
No.
Okay, well, here's the question for you. Would you like to take a little vacation from your job? Yeah. Our own Jeanette Trumpeter has, like you work very hard, has volunteered to try a new career. If you would like Jeanette to do your job, not Jason's, send your request to Do My Job in care of KCCI 888 9th Street, Des Moines, or you can send an email to kcci@kcci.com. And Jeanette's reports will start next month.
She's smiling big there. We'll see how long that lasts.
That's right. We'll think up something for her to do. Well, coming up next, what does Alice in Wonderland have to do with Terrace Hill?
I have no idea, but we're going to talk to the state's First Lady coming up next to find out, so stay with us.
Community Calendar is sponsored by Culligan, the world's source for better water.
For up-to-the-minute weather information, day or night, call the News Channel 8 Super Doppler Forecast at 262-7173. Sponsored by Hullab Garden and Greenhouse.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, this coming Saturday, children of all ages are invited to Terrace Hill for the first family spring fling and pancake flip. And who better to explain what that involves is our First Lady, Christy Vilsack. And that's quite a mouthful, but what's
only an English teacher could come up with that kind of alliteration.
Right? We don't have to say that 3 times fast,
right.
do we?
Right.
Thanks for being here today.
Great to be here.
This is going to be a lot of fun, and sounding from Mike's weather forecast, it's going to be great.
I love that weather forecast.
Good.
That's what we need.
Keep our fingers crossed. This is a fundraiser, but tell us, it's got a sort of a storybook theme.
Right. I've been very involved in promoting libraries in Iowa, and when we started thinking about what we wanted to do, we wanted to have an outdoor event. We wanted it to be May and springtime, but we wanted to involve reading and literacy in some way, and so the public librarians in Des Moines just jumped right in and have offered to help, and they're going to be doing puppet shows and May baskets and storytelling, and so Alice in Wonderland we thought was perfect for a Victorian mansion since it's a Victorian story.
Perfect.
And had a tea party, which is always fun, and the Mad Hatter and Alice, and we thought we had the characters to create that.
And quite the characters. Explain who's going to... Now, this is from 11 until 1 on Saturday.
Right.
Tickets are $5 a piece, and you are going to be in costume.
Yes, I am Alice.
Okay.
My husband, the governor, is dressed up like the Mad Hatter. We've had him practice a little bit. It's worth the price of admission to see him in his pink and purple outfit. He has to wear the hat, though. I'm the hat person, and he has to wear the hat. And then Lieutenant Governor Sally Peterson will be the Queen of Hearts, so she's going to be off with their heads, off with their heads.
Oh, my. Well, that could scare a few kids.
Yes,
but,
and we'll have white rabbits. The governor wanted to be a white rabbit so nobody would know who he was. But I was afraid he might scare children because he's sort of big, and I thought they might think he's more the abominable snowman than the white rabbit. So we have other members of our staff who are dressing up as Tweedledum and Tweedledee and all of the other characters. And so we're going to have a maze. We're going to have a live petting zoo with real rabbits for children. There are going to be lots of craft activities.
Pancakes. Now, for $5, you get breakfast, and you also get an amazing swing.
Oh,
Tell
yes.
us about the swing.
There's a psycho swing. I refused to get on it this morning. They had it set up out there to try it out. You can twirl around. In fact, I understand there are only 25, and there hasn't been one in Iowa yet, so this will be its debut, I believe.
And it goes full circle.
So, full circle. You can get it to go, or if you need a little help, they can pump it up and make it go all the way around. There's also a caterpillar crawl, and there's a big slide, which I think has been at Terrace Hill before, and some of the children remember that. And I think there's one other, the bouncing balls or something. There are different kinds of, for the more rambunctious at heart.
Oh, good,
have
good.
those kinds of things.
Something for everyone, but I would suggest probably doing the swing before you do the pancakes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Where will the money go?
The money goes to Terrace Hill. It's a Terrace Hill fundraiser, and it's actually our first event at Terrace Hill. So we're excited about the family aspect of it and the fact that it promotes reading and literacy. And if any of the children have books that they want to bring to the book swap, they can exchange those and get another book to take home with them. And the librarians also have some packets with all the summer reading programs explained in there to help promote those. So.
What a great idea. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
And once again, 11 until 1 o'clock this Saturday. Tickets $5 a person. I work with Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but, you know, he still does a good forecast. For more information, 274-0188. This is Bill Peck. Thank you very much for coming in today, and we wish you good luck with the party.
Thanks. Please come.
All right. We'll be there. We'll be back with more next. We're out of time. Thanks for joining us
And
today.
a correction, I am Tweedledee, and you know the rest.
Yeah, sure.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Dumb and Dumber.